Soul Garden.
Hello, Officer Scorpio, and welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. I'm your host to the universe, Christopher Witecki. And this week, your free horoscope is sponsored by yours truly. It's the March Madness time. If you buy a 1-hour reading with me right now during the Mercury retrograde, I will give you a free 30-minute follow-up sometime in 2012. This is a perfect bargain for someone who's never had a reading with me because you get me twice in a given year, really can triangulate, and hurry up, all supplies go. I actually have the last week in March open, so it's first come, first served, but they fill up fast. But even so, sometimes it's worth waiting. Sometimes people wait up to 2 months, but that's because I actually only do one of these a day so that whoever has my attention has my full spiritual attention. So it's good times. And come on down to soulgarden.me, your Facebook away from Facebook. We have a whole community of other Scorpions here to help support you. We've even got a Scorpio Rider here. And what are they talking about? Oh, the true colors of the heart. I kind of chuckled at that, the true colors of the heart. What are the true colors of a Scorpio heart? One may never know. I think you guys are funny. But anyways, heart is what it's all about right now. And that's what we're talking about on Monday. Come on down, register yourself, come be a sprout. A sprout is a newcomer in Soul Garden. We help you grow into a wonderful garden. It's kind of cool. Come on down. Now, what's going on? Well, inner child is where it's at for the Scorpion race. And you are working on chapter 3 of Sun in Pisces, or the third chamber of the heart, so to speak, of our inner child. Now, for those of you who are watched over by the Guardian Agency, I've been sending out a series of psychic with texts, and I just want you to know these are all leading up to something. So participate in them. I know they're a little random. That's the whole point. I know they ask random questions. That's the whole point. It's trying to get information out of you before a crucial time when you will likely not listen to yourself. So it is me watching over and helping. Just go with the flow. Appreciate it. Just want to let everyone know. Now, that said, we are on Monday having a breakdown day. And my apologies for not having the scopes up on Monday. I had Mercury attack my mouth. Mercury went retrograde. Never had it attack my mouth before. Technology, yes. My mouth, no. But it did happen, and I shut up. I got the message. But the point is a breakdown for you with inner child. Might have had a temper tantrum breakdown on Monday. You are focusing on getting on your inner child's dreams. This is your creative self. This is the fun self. This is the reason why we came and created Earth in the first place. And this is the time to step into that light. So if there's something that was built on false foundation, if you were lying to yourself, if you weren't being fully honest, if someone wasn't reciprocating, if you had false salespeople in your life, might have broken down, especially with Mercury retrograding. Mercury retrograding means we've got 3 weeks of reversing our Gemini consciousness, which means, you know, the devil and the angel switch shoulders. If you want to go to that classic analogy, it means the devil's advocate and the other part of our mind switch seats. It means our inner voice becomes our outer voice goes to inner. What we end up doing is seeing our life differently. Thank God the universe forces human beings to see it differently. We often see it as things breaking down. But you know, if something breaks down, your phone or something like that, there's a reason. Go with the flow of the universe and see what happens. And see what happens when you do or can connect when the phone comes back on. Interesting stuff. So Monday, breakdown energy. The moon is in Scorpio though, so of all the 12 states or tribes, you're probably feeling the best. The moon is giving you an empowerment to your ego and really fueling passion for what you have to do on Monday. So that's good stuff. Moving to Tuesday, it's a breakthrough day. The day is ruled by Mercury and Mercury is retrograde. Now this retrograde Mercury, by the way, over here, means that you're going to have to rethink lifestyle. Rethink lifestyle. Now that makes perfect sense to me because if you're really going to dedicate yourself to your inner child, you're going to need a new lifestyle to support it. All right? So Uranus has good things behind that bulldozer, but it's going to be plowing down things in the way in your lifestyle, including health matters for those who don't pay attention. You need a solid body to be able to pull this all off, so can't get out of that. I'm bringing back up the Soul Pyramid because this is going to hit an apex tomorrow. The moon moves into Sagittarius on Tuesday, so emotions will shift to soul capital, money, and finance. So if you're worried on Tuesday, realize your emotions are just reading that sector of consciousness. Doesn't necessarily mean you need to panic. All right. Now, don't forget, we do have office hours for people in the garden on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Our Soulmart practitioners volunteer their time once a week to help our viewers with simple questions. 15 minutes. You do need a webcam. You will have your problem put out on public, but you know people get a lot. These are cool, and we're meeting our little sprouts and our fellow soul gardeners. So we're really getting some stuff done. It's neat. Come on down if you need to. Now on Wednesday, it's the day of a holy shift. Look at this kryptonite green going between these 3 planets. What this is all three of these groups finally hit 9. 9. 9 is a very powerful number if you don't know. 9 degrees. And I've been counting down to this moment. This is the final holy shift in my opinion. Think of it as the final turning of the soil before we plant some legitimate 2012 crops. And this is the one that's going to put people into the right power or not. What's pushing this is your relationship development. Jupiter and Venus saying Scorpios need higher bandwidth relationships. I got a lot of Scorpios that are writing me still holding on to the low bandwidth relationships. Stop that. It's your official slap in the hand. Hey, if it was you, you'd sting me. You're getting away. Easy. But it's time to move into the next sector of relationships, broadband relationships. No more dial-up, no more layaway men. One day he'll be ready. I just keep putting quarters in the box. Scorpio. But that's what's pushing this. Now, on the other hand, you've got to let go of the old bad thinking. And in some Scorpio's case, you know, you're so used to worrying about the man cheating. Maybe part of you just doesn't want to get out of that. Right? That old thinking, that old framework, that old looking around the corner for the cheater. You're going to have to say goodbye to all that I Spy stuff if you want to step into a new relationship paradigm with marriages. So you have to get rid of that thinking. But really, the real work is Mars retrograde. Mars retrograde says, you know, Scorp, in order to pull this off, you're going to probably have to back up the bulldozer as far as what you thought you would be in the world. Your world image may not be what you thought. Or you might have started going forward with a new business or a new direction somewhere, and really it might be contrary to the new marriage and the new thinking. So you really got to make sure that your social agreements and duties are in alignment with these other two sides. That's the spiritual work. Now, for those of you who've actually signed up for our GA Alert Network, I want to let you know I'll be there for you on Wednesday. I'll be sending you out with text during the day, during the climaxes, telling you what to hold space for in the most best way I can. And if you haven't signed up for the network, it is a free text I put out when Holy Shift hits the fan. All you have to do is text GA Text Me to this code right here, and we'll put you on the network. You do have to have your normal text message fees apply for your own provider, and we send some sort of commercial to pay for it on our end. But it's win-win, and you get a warning. Now, moving to Thursday. Thursday is a day of meditation. It's a day of going Zen. It's a day of logging into your higher self and making sure your guides are on board with this. If you have any doubts or faith about your dreams coming true, for Christ's sakes, ask your guides on Thursday. You're not going to get it. I'm just going to treat you like you treat me. But at the end of the day, it's all about logging in your higher self, talking to yourself, and making sure your inner child is on path. Truth is, if you love it, so does God Universe. If you love it, it's sponsored by God. If there's love in your heart for the idea of breaking away and becoming a runaway peace artist in Brazil, if that's fun, God's going to pay for it. Hard to believe, but that is what we teach at Soul Garden. The moon will be in Capricorn and crossing Pluto, so you will be inspired to let go of the old mind game on Thursday, which might mean you might get into an argument with the old husband or the old relationship, or something might pull you back into the old I'm a victim consciousness or everyone betrays me consciousness, which is fair, they did. But now we need to step out of it to prevent it from echoing again. So you'll be invited to go back to that old thinking on Thursday. Don't go into it. Then on Friday is a day where things actually do feel pretty good and strong. Saturn rules the day. It's time to make decisions. At this point, you're going to want to commit to an inner child vision. Okay, I want to do this, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm committing to it. I'm aligning the other 11 states of awareness to do nothing but follow the queen or king inside of my heart, and that is it. Everyone works for that. Right? It's time for the inner dictator to take over inside of you, and all other parts of you must report to the heart. That would be the best thing that could happen. It may take a while, though. Neptune shows that Scorpios will ease into this kind of thinking over time. Notice Uranus is now 4 degrees on this day. The reason why this is important is, tracking back in history, it is Uranus at 4 degrees is the degree in which the stock market crashed in 1929, right? 1929. Uranus entered Aries in 1928. Nonetheless, I'm not sure what will collapse, but for you, this is the lifestyle bulldozer. Stuff in your life that needs to go will go, built on false premise or built on the premise of anything else but satisfying your inner prince or princess. So it is time to break down anything in the way. Uranus starts that for you if you don't do it. Oh, thanks, Uranus. And the moon is still in Capricorn, but you're not letting go of old mind games at that point. You're pretty creative. Also on Friday, don't forget, Carolyn Nagel and myself are here with SG Live, our webcam radio show. This is where we dive deep into Soul Garden topics. Right now, we're working on psychic awareness and connecting to your guides and how that actually works. Like, what is the 1, 2, 3 step of doing that? We're talking about that. Come join us. That's at 11 o'clock Pacific, when you can do the math as to where it is. If you can't meet us live and chat with us, well, we do archive it, so you can watch it over the weekend. Then on Saturday, Saturday, it really is the wrap-up of this whole Pisces transit. Mars rules the day. If your inner child is not getting the cotton candy he or she wants, there might be a bit of a temper tantrum or a breakdown. There's a lot of stress going on right now, and there's a lot of gravity. On the one hand, the sun is getting pulled into this whole change your life issue. This is going to build and climax. You'll find this out next week when we come back. This red line means fear cropping up between your inner child and what? That pesky mind. That smart ass that works for the queen or king in your little queendom, right? Your mind. Watch your mind. Watch where it plants fears that aren't there. False evidence appearing real. Watch fear between your inner child and your thoughts. Don't let your thoughts be a party pooper. Okay? It is your decision as president of your universe, right? Mercury and Uranus actually dead conjunct to that 4th degree, so if there's going to be a stock market crash in your life, it's Saturday or Sunday or anyone's, but again, it's intellectual, it's not real, so just pay attention to that, and that is bait. Moon moves into Aquarius, which means it'll be nesting and resting on Saturday. Sunday, even cloudy, you're nesting and resting, you're holding space, you're definitely digging in, certainly recharge your emotional batteries. You want to hold space for what the inner child wants. You're starting to realize your life's going to change, and these fears are constant. You'll see this next week, constantly getting rid of fear between what your thoughts are saying and what the inner child actually wants. All right, Scorpio, that wraps up this week. Remember, you can get those readings right now, first come, first serve, 60 and a free 30-minute follow-up. Also, come on down the garden, your Facebook away from Facebook. And if I don't see you in one of those two places, well, I will see you in 7 days. Until then, live, love, be.